You could have all the ideas in the world. Which ones are you executing? Pick one. I think that you need to take an action step on one thing that you feel you can do. Because when you're thinking of like, I could do an event, I could do a live, and I could call this person, I could call that person, I could have a 100-person list. It's too much. I built this business when my kids were really little. Really little. I had a newborn and a 1-year-old. Shit was crazy. But you want to know what? I had a will and a drive to build this business, to have a different life than the life that I had then. And because I believed in myself and I took those little baby action steps, I didn't overwhelm myself with everything I could do. And I really trusted like what I can do is all I can do, and all I can do is enough. Hello, you guys. Welcome to this week's episode of the Expand and Evolve podcast. This week, I wanted to talk about network marketing. And I also wanted to just kind of dive into network marketing in 2026. So I don't know about you, but if you're in network marketing, you have probably felt it. I feel like there's been a shift, a change. Something is different, and it would be crazy not to acknowledge that like something is happening. I don't think that shift has anything to do with network marketing. I think it has everything to do with the way the world is going and what people are craving right now. And so something I'm witnessing, and you tell me, like maybe you're noticing this too, but I feel this change in especially like content on social media, the way people are being pulled to what they're most interested in. I feel like there's this difference in the sense that people are craving more time with the things that really matter. So I'm really feeling like people are wanting off their phones. They're realizing it's a virtual reality. It has distracted them long enough. And they want more time with their family. They want more presence. They want more true connection. And because of that, if you've built a network marketing business primarily using your phone, you may notice a difference in the fact that like response rates aren't as quick, or maybe you feel like you have less interest. I don't think it's less interest in network marketing. I think it's less interest in being on people's phones. So I want to talk about this because this, to me, it's like if people are craving more family time, more presence, more freedom to do what they really want, to have more time with the people and the things that really matter. To me, it's like this shows me that we are perfectly positioned in network marketing right now to be able to give people what they really want and what they're looking for. And so if people right now are feeling this pull away from social media, let's say, or pull away from being online so much, it's not a bad thing. It just means you need to hone in on the fact that connection is going to be your superpower right now. And if you're in network marketing, that's what we do. We literally get paid to connect and communicate with people. That's what we get paid for. We connect with people. We get to know what they want. We get to know what their needs are, and we supply them with something, a solution to what they're needing. So like for me and the company I'm with, it could be health and wellness products. It could be skincare. It could be makeup. It could be whatever they're looking for, or it could be the business opportunity where for me coming in 7.5 years ago when I started building this business, the position I was in was like, I was already using health and wellness products, but like I needed money. I needed an option to be able to make money from home because I wanted to be around my babies and I wanted to be present with my kids. So that reason for wanting to do network marketing isn't different now. Like there's so many people who are having their first babies and don't want to go back to work. So the whole feeling that like network marketing is changing or maybe people aren't as interested, I don't think that's true at all. I just think what was working in 2020, let's say, what was working in 2022, it's not going to work anymore because people are so burnt out from their phones. So like the hype way of talking on social media, the hype way of, attraction marketing, not that these things don't work. I just don't think they have the same power because people are burnt out from that. They're looking for true meaning and connection. And if you're in a good network marketing company with good morals, good integrity, good values, you have exactly that and you can offer people that. So what I just wanted to preface it with that and help you understand that like if you're in network marketing, I hope that this reaches you and helps you understand that you are perfectly positioned right now to give people what they are looking for. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I have gone through quite the process over the last 3 years of getting to know myself and my heart and what I really feel. And I built my network marketing business from a totally different energy than the place that I'm in right now. But when I tell you, the more and more time I spend around business people, around business mentorship, in this healing process, in this journey of getting to know myself, not once. There was one time that I was like, "Is this what I'm supposed to do forever?" And I've talked about this recently where I was like, "No, I know I'm gonna be doing more in my life." But there is not a single part of me that doesn't see the value of network marketing and what this business can do for people's lives. Like, that has not wavered, that has not changed. It has completely transformed my life. I've watched it transform other people's lives. And because of that, I want to continue giving this opportunity to other people. And so I want you guys to hear this from me as someone who's a top leader in not only the company, but also in the industry. You 1000% can still grow a thriving network marketing business. You just need to get back to understanding, like, what are the values here that matter? What did you start this for? What did you want your life to look like in 3, 5, 10 years from now? Those are the questions you need to anchor yourself in, and remember that if that has not yet changed, then you still have work to do. You have people you need to reach. And if you have reached that for yourself, you need to come from a place of not being selfish and understanding, like, now this is your job and your duty to go share that with other people because other people need this too. And if you're really doing network marketing for the right reasons, I know it can be exhausting when you're working with people who are complaining, who don't have the energy, who demand a lot from you with little in return. They never take action. I understand that part of it. But when you have the person who wants this, like really wants this, and you get to support them and see them win and grow, that is fulfilling. And if you're in this business for the right reasons, you know what I'm talking about. And if you've watched someone that's joined your team succeed, you know how freaking good that feels. And if you know that that feels really good, then you also know that, like, you can come back to that. There might be a season where maybe you weren't feeling the most inspired. You weren't really sure what you were doing this business for. You started thinking, like, is this really for me? I don't know. I'm not seeing enough success yet. I'm not growing fast enough. You may be having all of those thoughts, but if you come back and root yourself and anchor yourself in the reasons that you started, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I need you to hear me and trust me when I say, if you're actually in, you're in. Like, you have joined and you're in and you're showing up to everything. You're coming to the events, you're coming to the calls, you're doing the things. If you haven't yet seen success, it doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. It's just what I have seen happen is you come into this, you join a network marketing business, you join a network marketing company, and welcome to the evolution of your healing journey. Because honestly, it's going to take you into every trigger you've ever had. The fear of rejection, the fear of being seen, the fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, the fear of hearing the word no, the fear of success, the fear of failure, all of these different things that have been controlling and operating your life up until this point. A lot of the time you've made choices up until this point that have made you feel safe. When you join a network marketing company and a network marketing business, you are, and especially if you've never had a business before, you're starting an entrepreneurial journey. That journey in itself is going to push you past your limits that you've never gone through before and challenge you in ways that you couldn't have anticipated. You might be thinking, oh, I joined because I love the protein, or I love the pill that they have. I love what it makes me feel like. Yeah, that's the surface level reason. But when you actually step into the business, oh, get ready, because you're about to have to go through all of your stuff that you've probably been avoiding and been able to live your life up until this point. Whoa, up until this point without having to move through. So I want you to just know that that's super normal. The moment that you promote to the first level and then you start being like, oh my God, but could I do this again? And who would be my next clients and what would happen? Da, 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 da. That's just, you need to recognize that. Those are called intrusive thoughts, especially if you're a woman. They hit especially hard right before your period. Normal, normal, normal. No one is immune to that. You just need to get really good at noticing them and then, like, snapping them away from you as quickly as you can. So the fear that, like, okay, let's say you promote and you're like, wow, how am I going to do that again? Where am I going to find the people? How's it going to happen? Normal, normal thoughts, normal beliefs. No one is immune to that. But from 7.5 years, the people who are my clients right now, I have a lot of good client retention. So thank you. If you're a client of mine, I love you. Thank you for being so awesome. But the new people that end up my clients, the new people that end up doing the business with me, I didn't know them when I first promoted. I didn't know them when I promoted to the second level, third level, fourth level. I didn't know them. The point is, they come in, you meet new people, you make new connections. Life is always moving and happening. If you have a deep trust in life, you know that you're always going to be taken care of. So if you know that you're not going to, there is an abundance of people, of resources. Like, You don't have apple trees worry about making enough apples, like there's going to be apples because they're just, doing their thing. The abundance will always be there. The fruitfulness will always be there if you have intention into what you're building. So, yeah, I really just wanted to encourage you that I've been thinking a lot on this lately and feeling like, man, people don't know how lucky we are. Like if you're in that rut of thinking like, I don't know if network marketing is for me, I don't know, it's changed, I don't know. Just the way you build this business has to change. People are looking for depth, for connection, for meaning. We have that. We have that. And you have an opportunity that you can share with people that's going to give them what they're looking for. They want more presence in their life. They want more time with their family. They want, to put more effort and time into things that they value the most. They don't want to be spending hours a day in commuting. They don't want us to be spending hours a day working at a job they don't love. You have a solution for that. They want more time with their family. You have a solution for that. They want to be able to travel the world. You have a solution for that. People can build this business in order to give them the life that they really, really want and the life that they desire. We have an option that can serve them with that. What you need to kind of come back to and remember is if it's about connection, how do you stay deeply connected with people? Like, is that going to look like in-person events? Is that going to look like being deeply present in your interactions with human beings and getting to hear what they need and want? Is that going to mean deeply connecting with the people who are already on your team and actually showing that you care about them as human beings and as people rather than just as a number on your dashboard? Like, what does that look like to bring more connection into your business? Maybe you were able to get away with email newsletters in the past, and that is just not translating the same. Well, get people in your house, go to their house, sit on their floor, like connect with them, get to know their families, invite their families over. Put your priority, if you're building a network marketing business right now, into connection. If you do that, true, deep, honest connection, I promise you, you are still going to be rewarded. And I wanted to end this just talking briefly about action because I was on a coaching call with someone the other day, and she was sharing how she's just like waiting for the feeling to hit. And like, I just haven't felt inspired and I haven't really felt like I wanted to. And I was hoping the feeling would come back for me wanting to get on my stories and like talk again, which by the way, even though the world is changing, I'm telling you, when I skip out on stories and talking on stories, it impacts my business in a negative way. So yes, people are changing and yes, people don't want to be on their phones as much and people are still on their phones and people are still watching and people are paying attention. Okay. So when I'm on my stories consistently, I sell more product. When I'm not on my stories, because for a while I got out of the habit, I was like, even right now, I made this fizz without being on camera. Okay. That's a missed opportunity. Like I could have just made a story really fast as I made my fizz. And it's a missed opportunity. When I do that consistently, because that was the habit I was in, every time I'd make Arbonne products or nutrition products or whatever you're making, whatever company you're with, anytime I would make products, I would do it on my stories. And so when I got out of that habit, you're kind of like, okay, well, what do I talk about? I don't know. What do I say? And then the day goes by and you miss it and you miss the opportunity. So if you get back into that habit, you're going to see, like, at least for me, my business just grows this way. Like if I'm on stories talking about product, I sell more product. Not everyone's businesses are going to be like that. For you, it could be like you have to do events. For another person, it might be like, I need to be on the phone. For another person, it might be like voice notes. That always is the thing that brings me business. Whatever your thing is, you just need to, remember what that thing is that works for you and lean into that. So she was saying how she was hoping to be in that feeling. Like, I just want to feel inspired and feel motivated. I went, oh man, this is where people get it wrong. They're waiting for that feeling of inspiration to hit to make them want to take action. But really the thing that actually makes you take action and feel inspired, the thing that makes you actually feel inspired is that you have to take the action. So when you force yourself, and I don't want to use the word force, but you have the discipline to be like, hey, I know when I get on stories, it helps my business. So you just do it. It's not because you're feeling inspired. It's not because you have a lot to say. You just do it. The action of just like hit record, make your product on your stories, and then get off. In doing that one action, it will make you feel inspired to take the next action. So a lot of the time, what I see people doing is they're waiting to feel inspired. They're waiting to have that feeling hit of motivation or inspiration. It doesn't work like that. You need to take the action first. And then from taking the action, that's what gives you the motivation and the inspiration. So, for example, if you know that the gym makes you feel good, do you think you want to go to the gym at 5 a.m. if that's what you do, or you feel like going, every single day? No, not a single person consistent in the gym feels, I'm just so excited to go to the gym. And then they go to the gym and they go based on feeling. Absolutely not. They make it there because of the discipline of doing the action and knowing how they feel after. I need you to remember this because I see so many people, they're like, I just don't feel like it, especially in this era of like flow and ease. It's like, yeah. And if you're trying to live a real life in this real world that's not 100% airy fairy and you need to make money, like you're going to have to take action sometimes, even when you don't feel inspired. And I think that's what's holding so many people back is they're waiting for the feeling to arise that's going to make them take the action rather than understanding you need to take the action first and the feelings and the motivation and the inspiration comes from that. So what I wanted to give you an example of is like, okay, say you take that first action step where you're like, you know what? I haven't been on my stories in a while. So I'm going to go mix up my product or show something of my products on stories. Who cares what you even say? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Just like show up on your stories. So you show up on your stories. Okay, cool. You post it. Now you have that hit of dopamine of like you did something for your business, number one. Number two is you did something you said you were going to do and that you were avoiding. So you get an extra layer of dopamine because of that. And then once you've done that, you're kind of like, oh, it took like 30 seconds. I have so much time. What else could I do? And then it might lead you into the next thing, which is the next thing, which is the next thing. And that's what you need to get to a place of understanding is like, if you look at your list of actions you could take, you are going to go in freeze mode and feel completely overwhelmed because there's too much. Like as a business owner, there's 10 million thousand tasks you could do to help grow your business. It doesn't matter how many ideas you have, which ones are you executing? You could have all the ideas in the world. Which ones are you executing? So the most important thing for you is like, okay, cool. You have all of these ideas. Pick one. Pick one. Pick that one thing that you can execute on. If and pick something easy. Like I always say, like they always say, start with your hardest thing on your to-do list and get that done first. Yes, but when you're in a place of complete freeze, I don't think that that works because it keeps you frozen. I think that you need to take an action step on one thing that you feel you can do. You're like, "Oh, I can do that. Like I can get on stories today and mix up a product. Okay, amazing. Next thing you're going to do is like, okay, you did that one thing. What's the next step you could take? And then when you take that one step, what's the next step you could take? Because when you're thinking of like, I could do an event, I could do a live and I could call this person, I could call that person, I could have 100-person list and it's too much. You don't have the space or the time for that. And network marketing, the beauty of it is you build it in between your life. Like some of the best business calls I've had, I was watching my kids at the park or I was driving them somewhere. I rarely sit down and do work time. If I waited to have work time at a desk to build my business, I wouldn't have a business. The reason I have a business is because in between making the kids breakfast, I send a message. In between getting the kids food ready, I'm making a story, making my products. In between taking them to the park or taking them to their school or doing whatever, I'm doing a business call. I'm doing a coaching call. I'm integrating, like having them in my house while the kids are playing. Like I'm constantly multitasking and that's how I've been able to build a business as a mom. I built this business when my kids were really little, really little. I had a newborn and a 1-year-old. Shit was crazy. Okay. I was barely sleeping. I was nursing both of them. Things were crazy. But you want to know what? I had a will and a drive to build this business to have a different life than the life that I had then. And that will was enough once I got in the routine of doing the tasks that I was like, I can do this. And because I believed in myself and I took those little baby action steps, I didn't overwhelm myself with everything I could do in the whole world of what everyone else is doing. I focused on what I could do. And I really trusted like what I can do is all I can do and all I can do is enough. And I held that to myself. My upline at the time would tell me like, go get to know what everyone else is doing. Like get to know these people, get ideas. I was like, no, I don't want anything blurring like my clarity right now and giving me ideas that I don't have the capacity to execute. I don't have the capacity to do some like crazy amazing group event or some crazy amazing email marketing. That is not me. So focus on what you're actually good at. For me, I'm really good at being on stories consistently, showing up on social media consistently, connecting with people one-on-one, doing phone calls to talk about what I do and give people insight to that, and repeat. and then help a new person get started and build their business. That's what I'm good at. So imagine I was trying to be good at what everyone else does, like how people do attraction marketing or how people do email campaigns or how people, I don't even know, like do amazing, beautiful graphics on Canva. None of those are my superpowers. Nothing wrong with those things. Those can be other people's superpowers. My point is focus on what you're good at and you can actually execute. Imagine my to-do list was all the shit that I suck at, don't know how to do, and have no skill set in. Do you think I'm going to execute it? No, I'm going to keep pushing it aside, pushing it aside, pushing it aside. And we complicate network marketing sometimes, you guys. It's simple. You just look, this is called Fizz. Okay. I don't normally talk about the company I'm with because of just like, I don't know. But this is Fizz. I love it. I think it's amazing. I would way rather drink this than water. And it makes me feel great, energized, clear, but without like being jittery because I've tried other products and like my head literally hurts and I feel like, "Wah," like I'm going to explode or something. Fizz doesn't make me feel like that. So my point is, it can be that simple. So like if I was making a story right now, I would just be drinking Fizz and talking about it quickly. That's it. I don't focus on the outcome. I don't focus on did anyone message me saying they want Fizz. I don't care about that. I don't care. All I focus on is take the action step and trust that the results will come over time. And they always do, but you have to be consistent. And what I see a lot of people do is like, we made a story and nothing happened. Of course not. Do it for 65 days straight. The average person online needs to see something 65 times to show interest or be interested in buying. Have you done it 65 times for the same people to see it every single day to actually be interested? Because in person, it's an average of like 3 to 7. So if you know that, then maybe you're like, man, I don't necessarily have the capacity in me to show up on social media consistently, but I could throw some events. I could go set up a booth somewhere. I could set up a vendor table, like whatever your thing is, you know? So yeah, we're going to keep it there for today, but I just wanted to encourage you. Wait, let me look at these notes just in case there's something I want to say on the actions. Okay, I did have some notes. So let's just read through these, okay? It's one simple action. When you think of everything, you'll be overwhelmed and do nothing. Okay, we already talked about that. You wait for inspiration, the feeling, we already talked about that. Okay, so rather than thinking about everything you could do and getting overwhelmed, just choose one. So we talked about this too, but one message, one follow-up, one event. You have to narrow it down or it becomes way too overwhelming. So what is that one action you could take right now? That's how I wanted to leave you. I remember now. I wanted to leave you thinking of like one action you could take because like listening to this podcast is great. It's going to give you like a little hit. You're like, oh, I know I can do this. Refocus on your why, recenter into what you're doing this for. Trust that you can still build an amazing, successful, thriving business. Trust me, there's other people thriving in network marketing right now and growing to the top of the company. If the people around you are not doing that, be the one to like inspire the change. Be the one that makes growth happen right now. You don't need to listen to the fact that like some people are not growing. It doesn't matter. In the season that I grew my business to the top, no one was growing. Like, and I still had seasons that had my best months ever, even though no one was growing. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like that belief around, oh my God, the economy, we're in a recession. Okay, well, create your own economy. Who cares what's happening to the world? Create your own results based on what you want to see. So, okay. So what's the one action that you could take right now? Is it checking in with clients who ordered this month? That's something I did the other day, created a lot of amazing conversations. Is it posting a story about your products with a link? Is it picking a day to do an event? Just get it locked into your calendar. Is it reaching out to one of your business builders to see how they're doing and booking a connect call because it's been a while? Just choose one thing, anything, and don't think about anything else until you execute that one thing. I just really feel like, yeah, the days of sending 100 messages a day, they're just gone. Like that's not how we need to build. And honestly, if you're really in tune with yourself, you don't need to be sending 100 messages a day to be able to thrive in your business. You can intuitively kind of guide yourself to like, hey, this person landed in my head. I'm going to message them and still do those daily actions that you know give you results, but don't hold yourself to doing a bunch of stuff that is not working, you know? Don't send 100 messages that are empty with no feeling and no intention and like waste your time. I just don't think that's helpful. I think you're better off to do things with intention. And you're going to find more success that way. So anyways, that is that. I hope this was helpful. Trust me, focus on intention, focus on connection, and that one action a day. Even if you can't do more than that, one action, commit to yourself, one action every single day. And from that one action, hopefully it leads you to more, but don't get stressed out about it. Like one action a day is more than most people, and you will have a thriving business. You'll feel way better about yourself because you're doing the things you said you were going to do. And trust that like everything works in 90-day cycles. So what you're seeing right now, what you're doing right now, you're probably not going to see the results for 90 days. Be okay with that. Take the actions with no attachment to the outcome, and you will be just, you will love at where you end up in your business when you get detached from the outcome and instead just focus on taking the action and trust everything is working out for you and everyone will come to you as it's meant to. And yeah, lead with a servant-led heart and you will grow a business and you'll eventually find success, whatever success looks like for you. I love you guys. If this was helpful, send it to someone on your team, someone you know, someone else in network marketing, and share it so it can reach other people. But thank you so much for being here, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.